Hey there, friends. Have you ever experienced a devastating flood? If so, you know how terrifying and destructive these natural disasters can be. But what if we could get accurate warnings about upcoming extreme floods several days in advance? That would give people more time to prepare and stay safe. Well, thanks to some brilliant scientists and researchers, we now have an incredible new artificial intelligence system that can predict when and where major floods might occur around the world, even in areas with little data on river levels and rainfall. This groundbreaking technology is already being used to provide free, real-time flood forecasts to over 80 countries. In this video, we'll explore how this amazing AI system works, how it improves upon existing methods, and why it's such an important breakthrough, especially for developing nations most vulnerable to floods. Explaining floods and their impacts. But first, let's talk about why predicting floods matters so much. Floods are the most common type of natural disaster worldwide. And their frequency has more than doubled since the year 2000 due to climate change causing more extreme weather. Floods can be absolutely devastating, destroying homes, farms, roads and businesses. They put millions of lives at risk each year, especially in poorer countries that lack good emergency systems and infrastructure. According to the World Health Organization, over 90% of the 1.8 billion people vulnerable to floods live in low and middle-income nations. The human costs are staggering. Floods kill an estimated 23,000 people per year on average in developing countries alone. And the economic damages can be catastrophic and set entire regions back for years. That's why having reliable early warning systems is so critical. They can reduce flood fatalities by up to 43% and economic losses by 35 to 50%. The World Bank estimates that if developing countries had flood warning systems as good as rich countries, it could save 23,000 lives per year on average. The challenges of flood prediction. So how do we actually predict when and where major floods will strike? Well, it's complicated because rivers and rainfall can behave very differently in each local area based on terrain, soil conditions, vegetation cover and more. The traditional approach uses complex computer simulation models of hydrology, the movement of water through a region. But these models require years of data on past river levels and rainfall to be calibrated accurately for each individual watershed. And here's the big problem. Stream gauges to collect that data are extremely lacking across the developing world. In fact, less than a few percent of the world's watersheds have enough gauges to feed into these simulations. This prediction in ungauged basins challenge has stumped hydrologists for decades. Developing solutions was even the focus of a 10-year project for the International Association of Hydrological Sciences ending in 2012. But they concluded little progress had been made, especially for data-sparse regions like Africa and parts of Asia. How AI cracked the flood prediction code. Enter artificial intelligence. A team of scientists from universities, government agencies and tech companies like Google had a brilliant idea. Instead of trying to build extremely complex simulations for every local watershed, why not let AI analyze huge global datasets of rainfall, temperature, terrain and other environmental variables? If given enough data examples to learn from, AI can potentially pick up on patterns that allow it to predict river levels and flooding risks without needing hydrology models manually calibrated for each location. The team gathered massive amounts of open public data from sources like weather satellites, stream gauges around the world, and environmental mapping databases. This included daily precipitation estimates, temperatures, soil conditions, vegetation cover and topographic data describing the terrain. They fed all this information into advanced machine learning software that used artificial neural networks, computer systems very loosely inspired by the human brain. By detecting subtle patterns across this ocean of data examples, the AI slowly learned to predict daily streamflow levels in thousands of individual watersheds simultaneously. In other words, this new AI system can warn about upcoming major floods around 5 days earlier than current methods. That's an enormous improvement that could save countless lives by giving people more time to prepare or evacuate if needed. Overall, the scientists found the AI gave improved reliability in around 70% of the locations they tested compared to the European model. Of course, no forecasting method is perfect. The researchers caution that increasing access to more open hydrological data from more stream gauges is still key to continuing to improve these AI models over time. But for many ungauged basins with no forecasts available today, this AI is a game changer that could help save lives. So there you have it, an incredibly smart artificial intelligence that can warn about major floods across the globe up to 5 days in advance, including places lacking good data on rainfall and rivers. Thanks to innovations like this, we're one step closer to a world where all communities have access to reliable early warnings for natural hazards. You can also share this video to help spread awareness about this revolutionary technology. And of course, continue supporting scientists, engineers and organizations working to better predict extreme weather and protect vulnerable populations. A bit of prevention through tools like this can go a long way towards increasing community resilience worldwide. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time with more amazing AI applications that could change the world. Stay curious.